You may be wondering, why is there a giant pretzel topiary behind me? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I am outside of Tom Sturgis Pretzels right here outside of Reading in Shillington, and we are going to learn how the magic of pretzels are made with the family themselves. So let's go on inside. I cannot wait for you to learn the ins and outs and the top secrets of how pretzels are made. Hello and welcome to an all-new episode of Sam Explains the World. I'm your host, Samantha Bremenkamp, and I'm super excited to be here at Tom Sturgis Pretzels with Bruce and Zack, who are going to show us everything it takes to make the magic happen in the pretzel world.
So starting in the middle of the 1800s, around the late 1850s, you had the Sturgis family, Julius Sturgis, starting out. He, like I said before, he got into the business. He was working at I think, a bread baking factory in Littis, PA. And at the beginning of the Civil War, in 1861, Julius had come to work one morning and found that there was indeed a little bit of pretzels left in the oven, and the work crew the night before had not put the pretzels away. They had not cleaned out, and they had got baked again. And when they got baked again, they wound up getting hard, obviously. And when they got hard, they were sitting there, and he decided, let me go and take one. Let me go test one. And it's kind of like eating stale bread. After a little bit, it's not the first thing you would do, but he tried one, and to his surprise, it wasn't too bad. So after a bit, he went up to his boss and was like, let's see, if people would like this. If it's his boss said, there's no way, you can't sell stale, you can't sell burnt pretzel. It's not going to sell. So after a bit, he thought, no, I think this will really work. I think we can make a business out of this, and I think people will buy it. So he went down the street, got his own house, and he had, was it 14 kids or more than
That sounds
10?
right.
About
That sounds
14 kids of his own. People had a lot of kids to help work on the farm and work on, in their businesses. So he went down and opened up, and the business started to flourish. But right as he opened in 1861, the American Civil War started. So luckily, I don't know how, but they managed to have a full running business throughout the war, and it really worked out that the secret of making good pretzels is just hard work and making sure that your product is you know continuously good. Yeah. The top two paying jobs back then was tobacco rollers and pretzel twisters. Tobacco rollers got, I believe it was 12 cents an hour, which was, it doesn't sound like a lot, but back then, a penny went a long way. And along with that, pretzel twisters were right there in the mix. They got 10 cents an hour. And I think, what was it? The train twister could, how many a minute, roughly? I don't
I
know.
think 42 would be pretty good for twisting in a minute.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Bruce Sturgis, Zach's father,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to give a little history in between inception of the Sturgis Pretzels and present day. In the late 30s, my grandfather and great uncle, they were Marriott and Carell, interesting names in themselves, decided they wanted to open up their own pretzel bakery. And while our family still had a pretzel bakery in Lititz, my grandfather and great uncle moved here to the Reading area and started their own pretzel bakery. They operated until World War II, until their bakers were drafted into the service for the war effort. Once World War II was ended, my grandfather started it back into the pretzel business on his own again, and we probably had about 5 different bakeries in the Reading area until we're at this present location here in Shillington. We've been at this location since 1970, and here we are today. I've been in the business full time for 40 plus years. I've worked here probably another 6, 8 years while I was in school, as did my sister Jill, as did my brother Chris. And I'm still in the business. Zach's grandfather, my father, Tom, believe it or not, he still makes me look like a spring chicken, and he's walking around the hallways here and in the plant. He's 91 years old, and he's just checking on Zach, myself, and all of our coworkers here.
I think so. Back in the day, they would, of course, roll their pretzels by hand, and it was normal for, especially like for example, if you go to Julius Sturgis Pretzel Bakery, you will have a large table on both sides. They used to, in fact, in the center of the table, have a guy who would be on a somewhat of a bicycle, I guess you could say, or he would turn it by using his feet. There would be a conveyor belt that would run down the center, and there was a machine, and it's hard to explain, but it would shoot out a piece of dough, roughly this around this size. I'd say that's right, roughly on here,
A
a
little
little smaller than this, and it would shoot it out, and it would go down the center of the conveyor belt, and the twisters would take a piece off, and they would roll it, and this is the first position, I guess you could say. Along, you have dowel rods that kind of uh, give you a rough estimate how long it should be. But this right here is like I said, the starting area. Now, when you go up to Julius, they'll take you through the tour. They'll show you how to fold a pretzel, and folding and twisting a pretzel are two completely different things. So I'll take you through the basic steps. The first step would be here. Some of the, I guess you could say, the positions have a little meaning to themselves. They have a little characteristics, and a little story behind it. You get yourself into is you want to create a U. Now this U will represent, as they say, the pretzels are your prayers going up to heaven. Because back in the day, when you'd pray, you didn't used to pray like this, but like this. So prayers going up to heaven. After you make your cross right here at the top, you would twist one time, not two times, just one. And this is where you get the term tying the knot from marriage. After that, you take the two ends up here, your little bunny ears, I guess you could say, and you place them right down at the bottom. Now, this right here, these three holes or these three spots, you could say represent the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So there's a little, I guess you could say, symbolism pretzels give, and this goes back centuries. This is up at the tour in Lidditz, they'll tell you the term pretzel comes from the Latin term pretiola, which translates roughly to little gift or reward. Back then, they weren't covered in salt, but in sugar. So it was completely different, but it's still, centuries later, the shape still takes the basic shape.
Pretzel. Here, I would say you take your piece of dough, and maybe it's the size of a golf ball, ping pong ball. You roll it out, and this is the commercial way of doing it.
And you're using a special board.
You roll it out on a rolling board. Has these grooves notched into it. You get the length you want. You pick it up, and you twist it. Now, with the way Zach was explaining it, he talked about the arms across the chest as far as the prayer. There's your pretzel with the arms across the chest.
Okay.
Now, there's a huge debate in this country
Really?
Relative to should the pretzel be that way or this way. Now, based on tradition, with the monks rewarding their children relative to prayers, if the arms are across, that's like that. That's why the Sturgis family says that that's the proper way. You should look at the pretzel. In front of our plant, we have two large pretzels. One, my father designed an ivy pretzel. It's a growing pretzel.
I love it.
And the other one's right right in the front of our store. But they're all oriented this way.
That makes
so we
more
feel
sense
this
now.
is the proper way a
Yes.
pretzel should be displayed.
Yes.
When you eat it, you're biting it. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter. But that's our story.
I love that.
So for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I mean, the way Zack showed it,
Mm-hmm.
that's how people explain it. They put it on a diagram and start it that way. And put it across, twist it again, and go like that.
Okay. Okay.
You can do the same thing that way. Cross it and put it that way.
Okay.
And see your pretzel.
Right. That's the way we teach.
But
okay.
This is how the Sturgises do pretzels.
I love it.
So, yeah. We say they can do 40 a minute or give or take. They had these pre-made for them, so they're just picking them up, twisting them, and they go.
This part alone will take me about 40 minutes.
But honestly, you got to get the feel of the dough.
Right.
And I think that the table for your height, I'm gonna guess that table's maybe up this height, so you're not bending over. You're doing that all day. You're gonna be hurting.
Right. Okay.
So.
All right. So when I go to this at home, I will do it at home.
Yeah. The problem is going to be not having this, because it'll just slide.
Oh, that's why.
That's why it's ridges if you'd rolled it on the table, that would be difficult.
Oh, interesting.
So, but you're actually doing it good.
I was wondering how it doesn't make marks on it, because I would think that it doesn't.
Marked on the finished prep? Marks on the finished prep?
Just like
it's
got to give it ridges, but it doesn't. It's just fascinating. Does a rolling pin?
That's just smooth.
That's smooth.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's pretty good. Yeah, just more pressure on the middle, and then as you're rolling, work your hands apart. Wherever it's heavy, put more pressure there and work away from that. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's extra long. Just make a bigger pretzel. When we do this, every once in a while, we'll do a demo here or something. Everyone loves it. It gets crowded. Now, you could do it the way Zack showed you. Whether it's a U or an N, either way.
Okay.
Cross it once. Cross it a second time. Open the, yep. You got it. That's it.
I'm a quick study outside of rolling the dough.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Someone handed me this.
Huh?
Your dough is rolled better.
Thank you.
It's more even.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I was, don't look at this one side. No, yours looks great. Yours looks like it would be.
That looks like a Dutch pretzel or a hard pretzel. That's more like a hard pretzel. That's more like a Dutch.
But no, I want to do the Sturgis.
You were going to do it the other way.
The Sturgis way. That was awesome.
Now try it with those strips. You just want to pick it up and not.
Oh, you want me to try to flip it?
You don't want to lift it up. Just keep it close to the table.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go like that. You're missing a twist. You need one extra twist. Just opposite. You got no, that's all right. That's all right. It came out up. You gave it an extra half twist. Seriously.
Okay. And now I'm not gonna be able to do it all.
You're lifting it up. It's harder. You got it. You got it.
No, what am I doing wrong?
You're fine. You're fine. Now just let it like that. Now, we evolved, or the pretzel industry evolved from hand twisting, just like that, just like that. Then it went to machine twisted. When it was machine twisted, you took a hunk of dough.
Wow, yeah.
You threw it into a hopper. There was an auger in the hopper, and it pushed the dough out of a hole.
Oh.
And there was a tiny knife that kept circulate. A chunk of dough came out of the hole,
Mm-hmm.
and it rolled between two opposite moving direction conveyor belts. And that actually literally rolled the pretzel or the piece of dough out into the pretzel length.
Wow.
Then there were two mechanical fingers that picked it up and went like this. And I can't do it. I'm not mechanical, obviously. But they twisted it. And then if there was excess dough, like there is here,
they would
pinch it off. Actually, I have that wrong. This is going to be a retake.
Okay.
They rolled out the strip of dough.
Mm-hmm.
If that strip, when it rolled down between the two belts, was too long, they were like scissors-like, and it flipped it off there. Yeah. That you can see that machine at Julius.
Oh, that's awesome.
There you can. But then it picked it up, twisted it, and there were single throw and double throw. They would flip it onto a belt, and we on the other side of the wall here had 14 of those machines diagonally across the proofing belt. Wow. It made 14 rows of pretzels.
Wow.
Okay. That's amazing. So my first real job in the plant was a baker's helper. And part of the job was when the machines, and very humid days, they would goof up. Yeah. They would twist a pretzel, and there it was on the belt, next to good pretzels. As a baker helper, you had to move up and down the belt and fix all of the cripples. Just go up and down the belt, fixing the cripples.
Wow.
My first night, and this is the truth. It is. I went to bed and I had nightmares. Oh no. It was my first 8-hour shift. I could not stop seeing pretzels. And honestly, I was like, I can't do it. I mean, I got through it. Yeah, that first night was brutal. Because you're constantly fixing pretzels. You're going up and down here. Oh my gosh. And you're moving. You're feeding the hoppers, hunks of dough in 14 machines, going back, twisting, picking up all the little ears that were in a bucket, throwing them in the hopper. And that's the truth. Yeah. So you went from hand twisting to machine twisting to extrusion. And we'll show you the extrusion in the plant.
How exciting.
So,
but I love that. I love that you had your
But you did very well. Some people, they won't get it at all. Other people will take 2 or 3 days, and then they can do it. You did it pretty quick, actually.
I feel like a lifetime of that has helped prepare me for doing this. Also, you guys taught me, and you guys were excellent.
There is another method of twisting, and I don't know it. It somehow loops it around, but I don't know that. Yeah. This was the fastest for me doing it. Doing it like that.
That must have been like so nerve-wracking having to be fast enough as the machines are pumping stuff up for you to fix the thing.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you that like manpower often is still needed with really awesome technology.
One other thing, we're not real concerned here with our different pretzels, the finished product. If one looks like that, one like this or whatever. We knew they didn't start that way. Right. I mean, this is something that was a business people did by hand. A lot of the time, as the dough goes down the proofing belts, all the irregularities will proof out and raise out. Right. So, hey. Awesome. And also, you could tell who twisted a pretzel sometimes. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I am here with Becca, who's the marketing director. Becca has some new products and such that you would like to share with us.
I do. So we, in addition to making pretzels, also make cookie sticks.
Ooh.
And we have in the past been making honey graham cookie sticks. Well, we have just recently launched the cinnamon honey graham cookie sticks. And these have a wonderful cinnamon flavor to the regular cookie sticks. And what makes these so special and different is that we bake the flavor directly into the dough. Oh. So no messy fingers.
Oh, that's brilliant. I didn't know that you could do that. Amazing.
Yes. And there's a couple other items that are going to be coming out. Not pretzels, but so we have had for the past few years, we call this our tote. And this shows a history of the company. We also have, in addition to this tote, which mirrors our beautiful semi-tractor trailer truck that you might see making deliveries.
Oh, yes. Oh,
we
yes.
also have our keepsake box, which is one of our favorites. It features inside photos of the old
how awesome is that
bakery, and I can let you in on a secret. There might be a new version of this coming out maybe next year. But what we are coming out with, I'm hoping August, September timeframe. We have retired our old tin.
Oh, okay.
And we are launching a new Tom Sturgis tin.
Ooh.
Maybe August, September soon. So
very exciting.
Keep an eye out for that. And it's going to match the color scheme.
This on that. Ooh.
Yes.
I can't wait.
We're really excited. We just found out that they came off the press and we're just waiting for them to come from, I believe they're being made in Belcamp, Maryland.
Ooh, very exciting.
So, behind me, you'll see our designer wall. This is a lot of the tins and other products that we have worked with local artists to design specifically for us. We have commissioned with artists to make these things just for us.
Oh, wow.
One of the things that I like about working here is I work with local artists. Amazing. And most recently, we are working with a new collaboration with a company called Mudworks, and they're in the Poconos. We are going to be launching a new line of pottery.
Ooh.
And I'm really excited because they are custom making some pottery for us.
Very cool.
I have a couple samples, but not the finished product yet.
Okay.
So, because we're not showing that.
No big reveal just yet. Okay.
Not yet. So just to give you an idea, this is the size of one of the bowls and some coloration.
Love it.
Of their beautiful work. We're going to be having some bowls
and
matching crocks for your mustard. And it's going to have our pretzel. And of course, as we spoke earlier, we have to have the pretzel in the
correct way. The Sturgis way.
That's right. So watch for these coming
very
soon.
Exciting.
They will be launching both in our catalog, on our website, and of course in our retail store.
Very cool. Very cool.
We're really excited to be launching that. I'm also working with another local vendor to launch jewelry.
I don't know if you can see, we'll have to do a close-up, but beautiful pretzel jewelry, gorgeous silver. I love it.
So we'll be selling this also in gold.
Okay, that's very exciting.
Again, this will be available in our retail store soon. Don't have a date yet, but very cool. Soon.
And I love that you work with local artisans. That's awesome.
That's really important to us, to work with local vendors. And when I say local, Pennsylvania, we do try to stay in the United States as much as we can. And
I love that.
We really like to work with local companies. So if you're a local artisan, reach out to us.
How awesome. And they are a delight to reach out to, by the way. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah. So, and future events coming up.
Ooh.
So as we're launching this.
Yes.
So every year we launch our new product catalog, comes out October 1st of each year.
Love it.
And during that time, October 1 through November 15th, we always run our pre-holiday 10% off sale.
Ooh.
So get your pre-orders in.
Yes.
Order.
I
Tell
love
us
it.
I want to ship it at Christmas, and we'll be happy to ship it for you later on.
I love that.
And then after that, we're going to send you another catalog in time for you to place another order for 10% off for mail order from February 1st through March 15th.
Perfect for Valentine's Day, for any day, for Treat Yourself Day.
You bet. Absolutely. And what's really nice is we remind you, if you sign up on our website and request to be on our newsletter.
Ooh, a newsletter. I love newsletters.
Yes. So if you want to just be on our website and get a newsletter, please do that. And then you can just order on our website. If you still like a great catalog, which we're working on now.
Very nice.
Please go to our website, type in request a catalog, and we'll get you on our mailing list.
That's awesome.
And we'll make sure to get you a catalog twice a year. That's what we do. We send them out.
I love that.
And if you're local or if you're in our area, please come into our retail store. Our retail store is open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.
Perfect.
We are closed on major holidays, but just give us a call. We'll be happy to tell you if we're here. And if you want to make sure we have your favorite product, just give us a call. We'll tell you what we have in stock.
So right now we're in the mixing room. This is where everything gets put together, the dough. Right here is one of the mixers. This is older. This is not as of this past year. We like to reuse our machines. We like to keep them working. We take good care of them. Right here, this is, I think, the 60s, right? So we're still using it, still keeping it in shape. Once we get the dough from here, once it's all mixed up, right behind you over here, this is where the dough is. And as you see behind it, right here, this is the hopper. This is exactly where we put the dough. As you can see, it's put in here. They fill it all the way up. And right down here, this is through the glass. You can see this is the die. The die is right there. The dies are basically your Play-Doh fun factor, if you think of it like that.
Yes.
You have, what is it, every half second, that the knife comes down and slices.
Right now we're doing 60 cuts a minute.
So
That's not fast.
Okay.
That's intentional that we're doing it slow, quality reasons.
So as you see right down here, it cuts it right off. It makes it a perfect shape, and
That's so cool.
it will sit there for proofing. Yep.
Wow. So cool. Look at all those.
Sam, this step here, this is the third step, going from hand twisting to machine twisting to extrusion. This is extrusion.
I was wondering, you brought that up.
There are augers. There's 5 pairs of augers that force the dough out through the pretzel shape. That's the extrusion. Okay, Sam, what's happening right here is the pretzels are just sitting on a cotton belt and they're proofing. They're raising, developing flavor. This goes up through our heated baking room, even though summer's 2 or 3 days away. This is heated baking room. We're developing flavor. That's one of our secrets. I challenge any other baker to try to match it. Sam, what's happening here to the pretzels after they've been proofed? They go into a water solution of caustic soda. A synonym would be lye. It's highly alkaline. With this solution, they get the brown, somewhat shiny coating on the outside. If they did not have this solution, they would look like baked saltine crackers when they come out. Under the cooker, we have open flame, natural gas fired Reuben burrs. So the water is heated almost up to a boiling point here. After the pretzels are cooked in the cooker, then we go over to here and we have a salter. While the pretzels are still wet, the pretzels are salted, if that's what we want. After the salting, then you move into the old-fashioned oven hood. Pour that solution into the cooker. Don't show his face. Hey, Sam, behind me, this is one of our artisan pretzel baking ovens. This is a relatively modern takeoff of the old coal-fired, wood-fired stationary ovens of my great-great-grandfather. What you see are individual burners, hundreds of individual burners that a baker must light or turn off based on how the product's baking. Come over here. To operate this oven, you take a torch, open the torch, light the torch. If you want to light this burner, turn on the burner and light the burner. And the baker has to do that for every burner that they light down the oven. So there's another secret to our baking besides the burner system, and we'll show you that in a minute.
When we say artisan, we truly mean that in the sense of I don't know of any other pretzel bakeries that use soapstone. Like as we mentioned before, a very old technique. If you come here, these stones, that is where the pretzels are coming off of. And they're landing right here on this conveyor belt, and they're going up and getting dried. But this is literally something that Europeans would use back in the old days to make soft pretzels. Yeah.
Here's an example of one of the soapstones that we used to bake on. This is simulating what our great-great-grandfather used to bake on. Pretzels are actually baking on that surface like that. So, okay.
So each line that we have, as we might have mentioned before, built in different years, different decades. So this line right here, the B line, this is one of the oldest lines, built in the mid-early 70s. So the pretzels coming off right now, they're done. They're done, completely ready to go, and they're going to go up all the way around, but they're going to go and get packed, whether it's for customers, large or small. If you want to taste one, taste one right here. For the one, right?
Oh my God. Hot off the
Yeah, right off. Mm-hmm. As you might see, there's a picture I'll post or I'll give to you, but there's a picture up in the front store. There's a baker going like this, and he's not smelling the pretzels. He's not looking at the pretzels. He's listening to the pretzel to see what it sounds like. Because the way that a pretzel bakes, just like when a French baker with their bread, you want to hear that nice crisp sound. It's the same thing. So you'll know. My dad will know if it's good or if it's not. And after working, I'm not the expert on that, but after working for so many years, the moment you crunch it, you're going to tell whether it's good product or whether it could use some additional add-on.
On the mirror, what we're looking at right now are the pretzels coming off of a conveyor and going into a computerized layer. There's 14 scales up there on a radius, and the scale decides which is the best combination of buckets to give the closest weight to your package weight. After the pretzels go through the layer, then they drop down a gentle slope into the bag maker, and the bag maker makes the finished package.
Beautiful. Gorgeous.
So now we're in the packing room. This is where everything gets finished up. As you can see behind me, different caddy boxes for our employees for the store. These will go directly. We're making them right now. As you saw, it had a couple of tastes. They're really good. These will go right from here within the next day or so, or even maybe sometimes during the same day. The customer will walk out the front store with it. So the quality, again, of our product is next to none. I mean, we really do take care of our customer. Now, the type of box gets humid during the summer in PA, gets humid during the spring even right now. The type of box that we use when packaging it will change sometimes from season to season. But overall, was it 440 so pound? We have during an 8-hour shift, you'll have around 8 skids, which is what these sit on. Wow. And your total ton or poundage on each skid, I think, is 440 pounds or so. So, although I mean, compared to other big massive companies, it's peanuts. But I mean, keeping that quality, keeping that good, consistency with the product is what's most important to us. Yeah. So right now we're in the warehouse. This is where everything is stored for getting our product out to our buyers, our sellers, and even directly to our store. So when I'm working in the store, sometimes during Christmas, I'll come right here. Okay, we need thick sticks, for the group for our store warehouse. I'll come out, just get a box of them and take them right out, open them up, and these might have been finished a day or so ago, or maybe they just came out a few minutes ago. And depending on the line that they run, and well,
I'm glad that you came. I mean, this
Yes,
is a
thank
really
you
great
so much.
experience,
Yeah.
and I mean, like I said, my goal basically for now is to bring more attention because I think the product speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
But the problem is now just not even the problem, but the mission is to
Yep.
get the word out, to get
Yes.
the product out, and
Yes.
this program is going to help a lot, and
Yeah,
we'll make sure
absolutely.
that we'll let you
Spread
know
the
when
word.
we have
Yeah.
events coming up or something like
Yeah,
that here or
perfect.
in West Reading. I mean,
Awesome.
so but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait.
Yeah,
So,
thank you so
yeah,
much.
perfect.
Thank you so much, Zach. This has been just so eye-opening and amazing and so cool. And I love that it's right here in Shillington. I love the history of it all and also the engineering that goes behind. And knowing like that your grandfather, who was an engineer, designed some of the machines blows my mind to just have that kind of mind to know how to do that, which is just so cool. And of course, thank you to your father for being part of it. Obviously, he's not here right now. He's here in spirit.
Here in spirit, yeah.
And he's in this building. It's not like he's gone. But and thank you all for watching this incredibly awesome and super fun episode of Sam Explains the World. Obviously, I'm your host, Samantha Premicamp, and you need to come here because it's 2 minutes away from your house, and there's so many delicious things which are perfect for gifts and everything. Plus, there's the pottery, the jewelry. Who doesn't want a really cute gold pretzel necklace?
Yeah,
Super excited. I look forward to seeing you guys next Friday on BCTV. Thank you and good night.